Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me an immense pleasure in welcoming each one of you at our webinar, Plastic Paradox in Packaging, jointly conducted by Robus India Industries and the Shakti Plastic Industries. To start the webinar today, let me invite Mr. Subhashish Roy, Director Strategy, Robus India Industries Private Limited, to do the welcome address. So, Mr. Roy is a business leader with more than 30 years of experience, with core expertise in packaging domain covering sales and marketing, complete operations including supply chain management, and with wide international exposure. Besides packaging, he also possesses vast experience in project sales and execution of dairy plants, breweries, distilleries, vegetable oil refineries, etc. He is an alumni of NIT Durgapur and IIM Calcutta. So over to you, Mr. Roy.
Very good afternoon to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Ashish ji, for a nice introduction. It's a privilege to address this August gathering through this webinar, and let me extend my greetings on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan. uh, it is very evident that people who have joined this webinar despite in a festive mood shows the importance of the subject. And as we know, in business, more and more, market strategy is equally supported by non-market strategy. And within non-market strategy, sustainability is one of the key subject today, which is gathering maximum attention, whether it is packaging, whether it is automobile, whether it is power generation. Everywhere we see a reflection, how can we be more friendly to the mother nature? And amongst the top three mega trends in industries, whether it is digitization, automation, I think the next biggest trend that is being seen in the recent past is sustainable initiatives. There is no denial of the fact that uh, we have been uh, little unruly in our behavior when we used certain material, more to say uh, on a specific note of plastics as a material, and we were not very civilized the way we have handled plastics, not only in developing country but at large, even in the Western world. And probably we are paying a price for the same, which we see with rapid change in the environment, creating various other catastrophic effects because of this non-sustainable behavior. And time has come everybody to really introspect and see within our own means what can be done differently, so that we lead to a better world, and especially for the next generations whom will inherit it from us. With this idea, we thought of a very pertinent subject, that is, government of India has rightfully, amongst many countries worldwide, I think, has taken a, a leading step, a first step towards making everybody conscious that how we should use plastics, and more so as a single use, especially into food packaging or food service packaging. There are companies who are talking about sustainability more for reputation, more for building their image, but there are also companies who have built their business out of sustainability as a strategic advantage. We know the topmost name come to my mind is could be Tesla. They have turned sustainability to their strategic advantage at a home level. I would say I also view Shakti Plastic with equal respect that what they have initiated as a towards a circular economy to help we manage plastic within our country in a better way. So they have shown the path and they're doing remarkable work. So we did not think of anyone else than Shakti Plastic to throw more light on this subject of single use plastic ban and take us through various nuances, finer aspects, and more particularly what we mean by extended producer's responsibility. Thank you very much, Shakti Plastic team, and more particularly Mr. Bharadwaj, who has taken time out today from his holiday and also busy schedule and will give us an insight of single-use plastic ban, its legislation, and also what is the way forward, rather not just the way out, but way forward so that we make better packaging for living, also we help the environment. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Roy, for setting the tone for the webinar. And so, moving forward, before we proceed, I would like to inform all our participants that we will open the floor for Q&A at the end of the session. You just need to click the button for the options at the bottom left side of your screen. Write in your question by clicking Ask a Question, mention the name of the speaker, and we will take this up with the respective speakers. So, moving ahead, I would like to now welcome Mr. Yatharth Bharadwaj. He is the Manager Compliances and Marketing, the Shakti Plastic Industries. So, Yatharth is a business professional having experience of 10 years in compliance, PWM rules as amended, marketing and sales, business development, CPCB registrations of PIBOs, and PWPFs, PR, and government relations, extended producer responsibility, compliance of plastic waste, assessment of plastic packaging used in HHP and CE products as per PWM rules, competitive benchmarking of plastic packaging, individual producer responsibility compliance of electronic waste, management of electronic waste generated at the warehouse, vendor evaluation, and management. So I would request Mr. Yatharth to please come on the stage and present.
Hi, good afternoon, all. Thank you, Mr. Ashish, for such a warm welcome. And thank you, Roy, sir, for setting the tone for the webinar ahead. You rightly said that sustainability needs to be taken into account when we build our business because PLN statement is not the only way to assess the profitability of the business. It should also be a thing that what the business is actually leaving behind or is imparting the society as a whole. So, with further ado, thank you all for gathering today and happy Raksha Bandhan to each and everyone who is celebrating this festival. And without taking much time on that, I would like to start and would will give you more finer aspects about what plastic waste management rule is all about and how the government regulations which has been changing over the time and rather I'll say evolving over the time over the period of 4 5 years has impacted the industry and the recent notification about the single use plastic ban. So I'll take you through all these things, and I really hope that this is going to be a insightful session for each and everyone who is attending today. Uh, so, let me first introduce myself and my company. I am a BTech in mechanical engineering, and I have, like Ashish ji also introduced me, I have an experience in product liabilities, in compliances, DCDRF forums, and majorly in consumer electronics industry. And later on, with the compliances in plastic waste and electronic waste, I moved to gain more insights and more industry experiences with Shakti Plastics. And as on date, I am heading that northern region, and PR relationships, government licensing, and policy advocacy with Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. In fact, I would like to inform you that we are one of the committee members of CPCB, which they formulated, to further amend the rules and to further develop the portal which they have been deploying for accounting of plastic waste for PBOs, and also for the compliance related things. And about my company, the Shakti Plastic Industries, uh, it was a very humble beginning back in 1969 from the veranda of Mr. Podar, and with this normal aim and normal businessman, that recycling of plastic. So majorly our core business is recycling of plastic and making it into granules. And with time we evolved, and with time we happen to have our own recycling facilities. And with this change in government notifications and the amendments in laws regarding plastic, we emerged as one of the largest recyclers and also one of the largest extended producer responsibility provider to the brand owners, to the producers, and to the importers of plastic packaging. Needless to say that over the period of time, many huge organizations, in fact, the pollution control boards of respective states, have also acknowledged our work and have accorded us with a lot of recognitions and awards. So, to tell you more further on that, firstly, I would tell you that what single use plastic old directive timeline was, exactly how it went on, and what it is right now. I'll give you crux of it. So majorly the first rule or regarding plastic waste management came into the picture in 2016, wherein the government, the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, imposed a complete ban on the sachets of gutka, tobacco, and pan masala, these products. So you would have noticed that now the packaging of these products come in that paper packaging kind of thing, not the plastic. So this was major thing. And then itself in 2016, they also happened to introduce an extended producer responsibility for all the brand owners, importers, and producers. However, it was very, it was in a very nascent stages, which developed over the period of time. So then gradually the rules were developed, the rules were modified as per the insights of the industry and as per the real time ground situations with brand owners and plastic processors like us. So in 2018 also it was amended, and then near about, I would say, close to 150 brands started doing this extended producer responsibility. The big polluters, who were using the plastic packaging in huge quantums, those were the one who undertook this PWM rule, and they registered themselves in PWM rules and started doing it. And then in 2021, uh, then again came a very decisive ruling and the law in this Indian Gazette, wherein they banned the sale of carry bags which are made of virgin plastic. And then they also imposed that there has to be certain thickness of the carry bags which are used for dispensing the commodities. So as on date, what the rule says is that the carry bags which are made of virgin plastics or recycled plastic shall not be less than 75 microns in its thickness. If it is less, then the producer or the user will be, levied environmental compensation. And going ahead, we are going to see that after December of 2022, the thickness will be again increased to 120 microns from 75 microns. So this is a point which every carry bag manufacturers and the consumers were also, taking into account while producing, because we have seen instances that the pollution board members of respective state pollution boards were, visiting and auditing the facilities of the manufacturers, and if found guilty of, using or manufacturing the carry bags which are less than 75 microns and is not as per the directive, then they were levied certain penalties and environment compensation. And then again in 2021, we happen to see that the old PWM rules, which were firstly brought into the picture in 2016 and then which were also amended in 2018, they got again amended. Draft rules came in picture, and state-wise plastic collections needs to be taken in account for PBOs. And also we happen to see that they got this digital portal on the for accounting the plastic packaging which is being used. Also in August 2021, there comes a very stringent policy by the government itself that import, stocking, distribution, and sale of single-use plastic items, they will be banned from July 2022. And there are certain list of these items. Not all the items were banned, but there are certain specific 19 items, to be precise, which they listed in their notification, and it got banned from July 1. So we have been seeing, because we are in the industry and we have a huge clientele of people, of PBOs, and we've been seeing that how people are, confused about this ban. Because everybody is like, we are using PE bags, or the covers or the shrink wrap, what will happen to our business and all. So to clarify all these doubts, we also made it to the forum. We also introduced the laws, and we also advocated while formulating these rules. And we helped understand PBOs, and also the other side of the table, that is the government and the ministry, that what ground impact it's going to be if certain things will be there. Because right now we see that there are less alternatives, or I'll say a little expensive alternatives to the things which were banned. So moving ahead, I'll show you that with effect to July 21, 2022, what are the things which got banned? So there are specific items which are banned, and nothing else is banned. So there is no need to panic, because I see that in industry that people are panicking about that, how are we going to manage our business, because packaging itself is a very essential part of any business. And plastic as a commodity is a very wonderful commodity. I'll never say that plastic is bad. It is the mismanagement of plastic waste which has accredited it as a waste. And I'll say it is not waste until it is wasted, frankly speaking. So it is about managing the plastic waste nicely so that it does not become a menace to the society, to other living beings as well. So the list is plastic sticks used in earbuds, the earbuds which we use to clear our ears, the balloons which have plastic sticks, candies or ice creams which have plastic sticks. These things are banned totally. Secondly, packaging and wrapping films. This is important for every industry because every industry use certain kind of wrapping their commodity or their finished goods, right? So only on sweet boxes, invitation card, and cigarette packets, the packaging, the wrapper around them is banned. No manufacturer, no brand owner can use that. Thirdly, there is a ban on cutlery items which are made out of plastic and are supposed to be used only once, which we see in restaurants, disposables like plates, cup, glasses, forks, spoons, knife, tray, all these things. And then comes the PVC banners, which are used for marketing and all. They should not be less than 100 micron. If the PVC banner is greater than 100 micron, then it is permitted. Otherwise, if its thickness is less than 100 micron, then it will attract a penalty and further actions by the concerned authorities. And then there is also a question that what about the polystyrene? And polystyrene is what? Thermocol which we use in packaging. So thermocol with respect to decoration purpose is banned. Other than that, it is not banned. We can use that in our packaging, because I'm from electronic industry as well. So I am a part of many groups, and there has been this buzz, yeah, what will now happen? How will we pack our products? So the answer was very simple, that only the decorative polystyrene, that is thermocol, is banned. Other items are completely other thermocol usage is completely okay. And regarding these second number, the cigarette packs and invitation cards and sweet box, it might come to your mind that those who smoke, that we still see that there is some wrapper around cigarette packages. So let me tell you on that part, that if the plastic is made out of biodegradable plastic and is adhering to the BIS standard and is completely certified by the CPET, then it can be used. Only biodegradable plastic, not the normal plastic, only biodegradable plastic can be used on cigarette packets, sweet box, and invitation cards as a wrapping. Otherwise, for other products, normal packaging is also allowed. So this is what this single notification was all about these few items which are banned. Other items are totally okay to be used. So we see that regarding multi-layered plastic usage, there was quite a buzz that it is being banned and it cannot be used, and the brand owners were also trying to figure out any alternatives to it. But let me clear some things, that the notification about multi-layered plastic usage is that firstly it is defining the responsibilities. It is not like saying that you just have to straight out discard it. It is defining responsibilities of the brand owners, producers, and importer, that how you can use this multi-layered plastic instead of just taking out from the system, how you should use it and how you can manage it, and if you are using it, how you have to extend your responsibility as a producer to undertake the responsibility of its recycling or end of life disposal. And going forward, according to the new rules which were published in February 22 itself, we are seeing that government is going to obligate entities, by entities I mean producer, importer, and brand owners, that you have to ensure minimum quantity of plastic packaging which you are using, that needs to be ensured that it gets recycled, or you also start using recycled plastic in your packaging. These guidelines also state that only those plastic that cannot be recycled should be sent to the end of life, because what we were seeing in the industry was that just to get rid of the plastic, many waste processors and many producers, brand owners and importers, I'll term it as PIBO. Okay, next time whenever I'll be referring to producers, importers and brand owner, I'll say PIBO. That's a abbreviation I'll use. So they used to channelize this plastic waste to directly to the cement kilns or to the waste to energy plants. But if I see, then that is not the right way, because now we see that, I'll say, PET, which is there in the Pepsi bottles, Bisleri bottles, the HDP, which is there in shampoo bottles, etc., LDPs, which are there in milk pouches, etc. These all are recyclable in nature. These plastics can be recycled, and then the PCR granules, which we say post consumer recycled granule, it can be used in different applications. So why just directly send it to the cement kilns and get it incinerated? Or why send it directly to the waste to energy plant, where it is being used as a fuel, as an alternative fuel to make electricity out of it? Of course, you need fuel and alternative fuel for fossil energies, fossil fuels. But if there can be any other use of the used plastic, then why not recycle it and make something else out of it? So that was the question, that was the thing which we also raised to the ministry. And thankfully so, by the industry representation, they took our words, they took our representation, they took note of it, and they obligated entities that they need to ensure that minimum level of recycling should be there. It should not be the case that you straight away channelize your plastic waste to the waste to energy plants or cement kilns. So, what is this plastic waste management rule, and what is that main component of EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, tells about? Firstly, I'll tell you that who are the obligated entities in this rule. First one is producer, producer of plastic packaging. Second one is the importer, importer who is importing plastic packaging directly or finished goods which has plastic packaging on it. Third one is brand owners. Brand owners include, online platforms, marketplaces, and all supermarket chains, or anybody who has that label, the trademark. They are the brand owner who are actually producing or marketing the products. For example, Coca Cola is a brand owner, Pepsi is a brand owner, Hindustan Liver is a brand owner, electronics company may Samsung is a brand owner, etc. They need to ensure that the packaging which they are using is being regulated and is being channelized as per the PWM rules. And the fourth obligated entity of this whole ecosystem, and I'll say the major entity of it, because the major load is on the plastic waste processor, just like me, the Shakti Plastic Industries. We are given the responsibility to undertake the responsibility of brand owners so that we can collect and dispose the plastic waste. So in simple layman language, I'll try to tell you what EPR is all about. It says that if I am a brand owner, or if I am any importer or producer, majorly brand owner, we see that there is a huge surge, and the prime focus is on brand owner. So if due to my product I am introducing plastic packaging in the market, then it is my responsibility to take back that plastic from the environment and get it recycled. Because after the required, or the, I'll say, the usage of the product, the plastic packaging around the product will be discarded. This is the main sole criteria of this rule. I'll give you one example for it so that we are more clear and we all are on the same page. That is that, for example, I am buying a Coca Cola bottle. So the product itself is that Coca Cola, the 500 ml or whatever it is. I'll consume it, and as we all know, what we do, we just throw it off in the dustbin or the roadside or wherever it is. So the government sees that it is because of your product the plastic came into the environment. Now it is your responsibility to collect that, to recycle that, and to clear the plastic menace which is being created in the environment. And to do that, either you do it yourself or you hire a plastic waste processor for it. So what we see is that many huge corporates, many producers, let's say producers like Cosmos, Wacmet, etc., they also don't have these recycling technologies or the expertise or the channelization sources, pan India distribution and all, to collect plastic waste and get it recycled. So they, 99.9%, each and every one of them is doing, they hire a plastic waste processor like Shakti Plastic Industries, and then they get it recycled. So what happens is, once they hire us, once there is this agreement between the brand owner and the plastic waste processor. So how we operate is that, firstly, one thing which needs to be ensured by every PBO, the brand owner, the producer, and the importer, is that who you are choosing, who you are getting into an agreement, is that recycler, is that plastic waste processor is actually authorized to do the work, or the work which will they will do on the behalf of the company will be recognized or not, and do they have the capacity to do it or not. So in order to answer those questions, I'll tell you about myself. That firstly, we are a registered recycler with Central Pollution Control Board, and also with the respective state pollution boards where we have our disposal facilities. We have our disposal facility in Maharashtra. So we are also uh, registered there in Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. How do we collect our plastic waste? That is a question, that because it is it is impossible to collect all the plastic waste which is being dumped in the landfills or in the vicinity of your area. So how do we do that? We tie up with the local municipalities, which is the MCDs, and then we segregate, and then we do MOU with them to segregate and sort the plastic waste out of the municipal solid waste, and then we take it and then we recycle it. That is how we do it. So under these rules, they have defined certain categories of plastics. First category is rigid plastics. And I think the image is very self-explanatory what comes under rigid plastic. All those kind of plastic which has been molded to certain shape and cannot be remolded further. The shampoo bottles or the Colin bottle for the floor and surface cleaner, all these kind of bottles. And then includes the flexible plastic packaging. And in these things, the films or the pouches, which can be remolded, we can just wrap it or just change the shape as the image is showing, like milk pouches, etc. They come under the category 2 packaging. And then comes the third category, and this is the most notorious plastic packaging category because it is hard to recycle such kind of plastics. These are the plastic packagings which have plastic plus some additional layer of uh, uh, any other material. For example, aluminum, paper, or cardboard, or anything like that. You must have seen the question. Oh, sorry, the films like the Lays, the Kurkure, these packets, you or the tea packets, in which there is this shiny layer inside, which is metallized layer, and that is of aluminum. So these kind of plastic packaging, which is called multi-layer plastic packaging, is very hard to recycle. And then comes the compostable plastic packaging, which is made of compostable plastic and can be further composted in compostable industries only. The fourth category is not famous. The government is introducing alternatives to the normal plastics, and soon we are going to see that biodegradable plastics is also added in the rules. In fact, the notification has already been released on 6th of July this year itself. Soon we will see that the portal will also, have it. I think most of the responsibilities and the duties I have already informed, but let me again go through it. The PBOs, like I told you, that they don't have that expertise in collection and recycling of the plastic waste. So, according to the rules and according to the ministry as well, the main agenda of involving PBOs is that the urban local bodies, that is the municipalities and the waste processors, get that financial incentive from them. And also, when PBOs are involved, the whole process gets more streamlined, because this is what I have also seen. Because earlier we were just recyclers, like I told you initially, but the rules came in 2016 and we also started giving our EPR services. I saw that our operations, our working style has improved drastically when we got associated with good big corporates as well. They taught us things, and vice versa, we also learned a lot of things, and we also taught them few things about plastic recycling. And then comes the waste management agencies or the plastic waste processors, like we are. Our whole and sole responsibility is that we channelize the plastic waste from respective states, from respective municipalities where we have a valid MOU, and then get it recycled. Show the compliance documents to the ministry, to the statutory bodies, to the PBOs as well. And also, it is our responsibility as well that we create awareness about it. We create awareness about what uh, mismanagement of plastic waste can do, and how can we simply avoid getting those plastic in our food system and our water systems. And then comes the ULBs, like I was telling, urban local bodies, and they are like municipal bodies. Like, if like I'll tell you about Delhi. So in Delhi, I have my MOU with North Delhi Municipal Corporation and South Delhi Corporation. We take, their responsibility is that they give us some uh, MSW, municipal solid waste, and then also help us segregate and sort plastic waste out of it, and then we can take that to our facilities. And then comes the statutory bodies like CPCB, SPCBs, MOEFCs, and ULBs. So their main uh, thing is that they supervise all this. They see that everybody is performing their duty. They can also ask for audits as well. We have been seeing this thing, that third party audits are very common in this thing, that actually the work is being done or not. Because declaring that we have consumed so much plastic is okay, and also we declaring that we have recycled is okay, but then to actually verify that, third party audits are also there, and this is being given by these statutory bodies. And as a consumer, see, there is no as such obligation on the consumer, but like this word EPR, extended producer responsibility, I will also say that it's not just extended producer responsibility, it is also every person responsibility. Because we also happen to have our facility in Indore in Madhya Pradesh, which is the cleanest city and is winning the award from last 5 consecutive years. And I was a part of delegation in Swachh Bharat Mission Indore. So I've learned that how community mobilization can actually do wonders. Like we talk about two dustbin system, right? That dry waste and wet waste. But if you'll go to Indore, you'll see that they are actually using 6 bins now. For plastic is different, e-waste is different, dry is different, wet is different, sanitary is different. So that is the reason why the whole city is being awarded as the cleanest city, because not just the governance, not just the municipality, even the consumers, the normal public out there, they are very much aware. And I would give the credits to the municipal corporation and certain brand owners for creating that kind of community mobilization. They have created a huge impact uh, in the behavior of consumers out there. So, moving on, I already told you that we provide EPR services pan India. Like we have our head office in Mumbai and then Delhi, but we are connected with all the states in terms of our MOU with the urban local bodies of the respective states. It's not that I have MOU with each and every MOU ULBs in India. That is not possible. But in each state, I have at least 2 to 3 tie-ups with urban local bodies. Only Lakshadweep is pending right now, and we are trying hard. But that has been a tough nut to be cracked. But other than that, all states and UTs are covered. Even the northeastern states are covered, and far-flung Ladakh is also covered. We are collecting plastic waste from there as well. The unique proposition which makes this whole EPR activity a success, and what makes a happy 200 plus clientele is that we have direct collection mechanism. We don't have any third party, we don't depend on them. We have our own regional local offices, we have people on our payrolls, we have direct connections with the ULBs. And then comes our own collection centers. We have because we if we are associated with all ULBs in respective states, then it is very pertinent that we also have some collection centers. So we have our collection centers in place. We have a rich team who have good experience in compliance documents and all. And also we give endorsements as well. Like we actually get it written from the municipalities that so much so plastic waste of this category of plastic has been lifted and has been recycled. So this is one of the major unique value proposition which we bring as an industry, and that is why we've been trusted by statutory bodies and also numerous brand owners for their EPR compliance and for managing their plastic waste. Now, when I was talking about that, I am one of the biggest recycler and I do that, and we have all the thing. For that, you need a good facility to recycle as well. It is not just saying that okay, we can manage it, but you really have to have a facility for the same. So in Maharashtra I have 2 units with a total cumulative capacity to recycle 1.3 lakhs metric ton of plastic waste per year. That is huge quantum. And in Madhya Pradesh, I have this Indore one, 1 lakh, and we are expecting to increase it more to 1 lakh more. We have border land again. And in Gujarat state, we have 10,000 metric ton. Bihar, we have 8,000 metric ton. And other states, how are we doing with other states? Because people will be saying that okay, your freight would be very high because you have to transport. So what we have done is that we have our alliance partners. We have our alliance partner in cement industries, we have our partners in cement kilns and waste to energy plants and waste to oil, road making companies. All these we have tie-ups to take care of the plastic waste. I was talking about this category 3 plastic, wherein I was giving an example of Lay's and Kurkure packets. And I was saying that this is the kind of most notorious kind of plastic packaging because it is not just plastic, it is some other material as well. And it is hard to recycle. So, right now, the practice of the industry was that they straight away used to send it to the waste to energy plant or to the cement kilns so that it can be burned off, because it was not easy to get plastic out of it and metal out of it and recycle it in some other ways. But I would like to inform you all that recently on 9th of May 2020 itself, we have got our patent for the recycling process of this multi-layered plastic packaging, that is category 3, and also for recycling it. We have developed our own technology and the process which enables us to recycle that kind of plastic packaging also. These are some of the glimpses of the machinery which we happen to import and also do some changes in it according to our needs over the period of time. We have learned a lot, and we have been able to recycle that kind of plastic packaging also, the Lay's one, the Kurkure's one, which was thought that it is impossible and it needs to be directly sent to the incineration. But we are doing that, and we are actually making some products out of it. I'll show you in next slides. So how this waste disposal journey happens is that we collect, like I told you, we collect from these urban local bodies, NGOs, mandirs, huge organizations, all the bulk consumers, and then we weigh it and then we bring it to our facilities for making the granules out of it. And the kind of plastic, there are certain kind of plastic which is there in the landfill like for decades, and it cannot be recycled. It has lost all its property, it has been in a very dilapidated condition, the lichet is there, the methane gas is there, and it is no more of use and it cannot be recycled. Then we send that kind of plastic as an alternative fuel to waste to energy plant or cement kilns. That is the whole idea, and that is the whole flow chart of how it is done, how we weigh it, and how we go about it. And of course then to keep all the documents in place regarding all the compliances, the kind of quantum of weight which we have lifted, all the necessary forms which needs to be filled for transportation, the ULB consents, the recycling certificates, we have developed this our in-house portal for our clients to see it more like a central repository which can be accessed 24 into 7. And these are the certain documents on your screen which we provide, the weighing slip, the invoices, the e-way bill, certificates, ULB endorsement, CPCB and SPCB acknowledgements, annual reports. These are some of the scope of work which scope of documents which we as a plastic waste processor provide to our esteemed clients for their EPR activities. And like I said, it community mobilization is very important, and there is no better place to do that than schools, because they are again going to be the next generation. Like Roy sir said it in the start that we need to take care of the future as well, because this earth, this place, we have not inherited from our forefathers. In fact, we have borrowed it from our future generations. So it is important that we teach them the right practices, the good practices, so that we this earth can go on and the sustainability is there in all our products. So like I was saying that it is important that we recycle and bring some value to that recycled plastic as well. So on your screen, you can see that there are glimpses of certain products which we make out of those recycled plastic. One is this tile, which can be used on floors, in your factories, in your gardens, everywhere. And they are fire resistant, they are skid resistant, and they can bear a load of up to 60 tons. We have done the testing in our facilities, like going truck moving from over them. So that's there. And then we have these benches, the pallets, dustbin, pots, and all. And we are coming up with more products as well. And I'm very happy to inform you that many brand owners have taken the initiative to use such products in their offices, in their facility. There's this huge brand who has in fact given us an order to make their pantry furniture out of all these recycled plastics, from the recycled plastic which is of their own brand. So that's very interesting for us as well. That project was very interesting, and we were appreciated, highly appreciated. That is all from my side, and I am open to questions now, and I see that there are so many questions here. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bharadwaj, for that insightful presentation. I'm really good to know that you're taking a step ahead to make this world a better place, make it more environment friendly. And so, moving ahead, I would like to invite again Mr. Roy to share his presentation.
Thank you, Ashishji, and thank you, Yatharth, for an excellent presentation. I have few questions in mind, but before that, I would like our audience to take them through some of my thoughts on sustainable packaging. So, when we talk about sustainable packaging, I would like to break it into primarily into three areas. We have heard a lot about circular economy, you know, what is reduce, reuse, recycle. We have thought of talking about uh, design optimization, but there are three areas where sustainable packaging has to play a pivotal role. One is sustainable sourcing, then it should support recycling, as it was obvious from the previous presentation, and optimize packaging in such a way that we overall use minimalistic packaging. These are the three core aspects of sustainable packaging. Now, we know how to entangle customer, how to protect our customers with three metrics. One is price, quality, and timely delivery. But from an operational standpoint, I would like to make it in a different note. I think for tomorrow's customer or for our tomorrow's market, we have to focus on efficiency, we have to focus on capability where innovation will come, and we have to equally focus on sustainability to hold our customer, to protect our market share, or to increase our wallet share of customers, especially in packaging. And why so? Because if we see the sustainability value framework, what we are doing today and what it should be doing for tomorrow, both internally and externally. What we generally do when we talk about sustainability in packaging, it is essentially cost and risk reduction. We talk about Okay, putting a solar panel, we talk about saving some energy through an optimized process, saving material for our cost reduction, as well as more to make it a better product, less material usage, or we do something to protect our reputation. There, EPR comes into play. There, more of market communication come into play. Many a times we have heard about a term called greenwashing. That means we somehow portray that it is so caring for the nature. So that is called greenwashing, but effectively it is probably not doing anything of that sort. So it is more to protect reputation or legitimacy. But if we change the paradigm and look for tomorrow from a different perspective, that can we look at sustainability more for innovation and repositioning? Can we think about products or a new segment within our packaging which will give us an edge? Not only it will help sustainability, but also it will help in our growth of the organization or our product offering to our customers. And that is exactly what I would like to take you through, to carve a niche for yourselves and to chalk out your own growth path and trajectory. So, taking a step back, how the market situation is changing. Several companies globally have been committing to 100% sustainable packaging by a timeline. I can give a name of few here. By 2025, some of the top names like Danone, L'Oreal, Mars, Nestle, PepsiCo, they have made a pledge that they will have packaging, they will use packaging which is only sustainably sourced. The studies have been showing that consumers are also willing to pay, even in India. In fact, the studies in comparison with developed world countries like India or Indonesia, people are more receptive to sustainable packaging and they are willing to pay even a premium for sustainable companies or sustainable product. On another note, if we see in the last 5 years or so, the growth, the market capitalization of the companies S&P 500 index, if they have grown at 22%, but the companies who are termed as sustainable, they have grown more than 29%. They are in the at least 6 to 7% more growth in market capitalization for these companies. That shows in the eyes of the retail investors also sustainable packaging or sustainable companies have a different place. Why brands are shifting to sustainable packaging? Because sustainable packaging shows that we are responsible. It's an element of our corporate social responsibility. Not only the retailers, even the brand owners are paying a huge attention on sustainable packaging for this reason. And how it is measured? It is in terms of decreasing carbon footprint and lowering the shipping cost. This is the direction, and only way to achieve this is through optimization of packaging, through design thinking. In Japan, it is a new concept which is called for packaging design for the environment. That is the philosophy they are following. that how the packaging is to be designed. That is the starting point. So it is to be designed for the environment, and then each and every step can follow, and we will come to a real optimized packaging solution which is recyclable, which is rightly sourced with the sustainable approach, and also it has optimum uses of energy and material. In terms of market size, the current market, which can be termed as sustainable packaging, is close to about $275 billion, which is expected a CAGR of 6% plus. And by 2028, it is expected to be in the region of $450 billion market. We have heard that what are immediately coming within the restrictions like single use plastic cups, food trays, product, but more and more we see in especially in the food and beverage industries the usage of degradable, if not degradable, definitely usage of recyclable material is gaining a great momentum. This is the way the packaging is evolving, especially for food packaging. Some of the names who are really focusing on sustainable packaging, the global leaders like Amcor, B Green Packaging, DSS Smith, Evergreen Packaging, Mondi, Nampak, and there are other names also like Hutamaki, like Air Carton, and even in India, there are various startups who are looking at sustainable packaging as their business model. Now, if I have to see and open up your mind that when we talk about packaging and that to paper based packaging, we only talk about either secondary or tertiary packaging, because paper as a product has very limited functional properties without the use of plastic. Is a wonderful material. It is perhaps one of the best innovations of mankind. Only issue is how we have handled plastic and its menace as a waste. That has created this problem. But without plastic, imparting functional property in packaging have been almost impossible. However, there have been recent innovations, and it is kind of a blend now how we can use minimalistic plastic with paper to create wonderful material with a functional property. And this is the development which is happening for both liquid packaging as well as within food service packaging. So two of the product range which I just wanted to give you an idea is gabletop packaging and thermoformed paper trays, which is getting a lot of attention in Europe and US for supermarket, for retail, especially into food service segments. And I see that will open up immense potential for future even in India. We at Robus are working hard to create a separate segment and meeting discerning customers whom we can give a complete project solution and also provide hand-holding support in marketing to develop this business together. So, Gabletop market in India is witnessing a CAGR of almost 25%. The segments which will see a huge demand coming forward once certain segment further open up, which is restricted. For instance, water, mineral water, it is still not available for carton based packaging, but perhaps the legislation is going to change further. The current segments are primarily non dairy creamer, beverages, and also certain non-food application, and there is also a huge scope for export from India for this packaging. As regards thermoform trays, uh, we are working on various applications, so I am not able to show you much here, but we can have a separate discussion on these on one-to-one basis. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Roy, for such a wonderful presentation. And now I would like to open the floor for the participants to ask questions. They would like our speakers to share their views or their perspectives based on their experience and expertise. I'll also invite Mr. Bharadwaj to come on stage. Okay, so we already have few questions with us. We'll go with the first question. Is it necessary to maintain minimum 50 micron thickness for MLP? If MLP of same family like BOPP or CPP, though we need to maintain 50 micron thickness? Either of you can answer the question.
I take it. Uh, so the answer is yes. You need to maintain a minimum of 50 microns of thickness, even if it is MLP of BOPP or CPP family. And the additional requirement is that you also need to ensure that there are certain printing requirements as per the rules regarding who manufactured it, the thickness of it, and the registration number of the manufacturer as well. These are some basic requirements which also needs to be adhered to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next question is shrink film use banned for packing of game packs? Still, I see, in fact, yesterday only some food joints are packing food in plastic packaging.
Mhm. So, firstly, answer to the packaging of game packs and all. Shrink frames are very much allowed. Just like I said, the thickness and printing requirements needs to be met, and otherwise, the only ban is on the cigarette packs, the invitation cards, and sweet box. Like I told, they have not gave us an open window to read between the lines. This is as specific as it gets. Secondly, the question about the food joints using plastic packaging. So see, there might be a case that they are using compostable plastic or biodegradable plastic, because I do have certain clients, big, huge few food joints, who are actually using biodegradable plastic and compostable plastics. So that is very much allowed. And secondly, they are also doing their EPR compliance part as well. So that is also allowed. So this might be a case that the containers or the other packaging, food packaging, which the person has asked, it might be of under that category itself. And if in case it is not, then we are also seeing that many commissioners on ground who are visiting the facilities for audits and all, they are they are penalizing them. Like yesterday only I heard a case of one of my clients. They have this food joint in Ludhiana. They were fined. They were heftily fine if such a case is there. So see, the rules are new. They are at the very nascent stage and they are evolving. So it's going to take some time to get it aligned with everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Bharadwaj. The next question here is under responsibility slide, PIBO will provide the financial incentives to whom?
Okay, financial assistance, is of two types, in the sense that firstly they can, adopt a urban local body. Like there is this client of mine who has actually adopted this Jamnagar that is in Gujarat, the whole urban local body, and he's developing that whole area, the schools, and taking care of the plastic menace and everything. They are in association with us and they are doing it. And secondly, the assistance is that when a PO selects us as a waste processor, and as somebody who is going to offset the responsibility of plastic collection and recycling, there is a certain cost which is being incurred for collecting, transporting, and processing of that plastic packaging. So that is the kind of financial assistance I was talking about. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Rao, this is a question for you. How do you see the whole ecosystem will be now? As now that there is a ban on SUP items and how are brands acting to it? Yeah, Mr. Roy, would like to answer this?
Can you please come again? Sorry, I missed the question, please.
Sure. How do you see the whole ecosystem will be now? As now that there is a ban on SUP items and how are brands acting to it?
Uh, See, when we talk about ban on single-usage plastics, I think there is still certain misconceptions. Okay, so uh, it is evolving, as Yatharth says. For conscious brand, I think they will follow the rule book. They will evolve. Okay, they need certain timeline to to make alternative arrangements, and I firmly believe that all responsible brand and owners would definitely respect the guidelines and do not try to bypass anything or make just a shortcut, a short-term approach rather. So we have to work together as a packaging provider. We have to give them alternative solutions, and which is why I wanted to present what are the different possibilities. There are very good guidelines from European Union. They could not ban uh, they did not rather ban single use plastic overnight, but they give a proper window so that one can migrate. That is why I presented thermoform tray could be another solution where, as per European guidelines, the usage of plastic have been kept at its bare minimum, less than 10%. That is the current regulation in EU. Most important aspect what I build is not the usage of plastic as such, but how well it is designed for circularity. How can we bring back? How can I use more and more? I am also associated with few companies, even in Europe, who are making IT enabled platforms so that even the same brand can get back their uh, it is like as if it is one particular brand of chocolate. If they're wrapping a chocolate, they can proclaim at a later date by through track and trace that actually they have taken back the plastic material and they have reused their plastic material. That could be uh, little futuristic to sound at this moment, but that could be also a possibility.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Roy. And we have a
Tell
lot
you
of
to
questions
put.
coming up. However, we'll take one last question as we are almost out of time. Kindly throw some light on Met PET folding cartons and BOPP or PVC laminated mono cartons. Any of you?
I have understood. Maybe I think that is a question on the top of mind for many of our customers who must be on this webinar. This is a question for Yatharth. I also expect more clarity on the subject, because does it come under multi-layered plastic? Let me break it down in few questions. Uh, Laminated board monocarton, does it come under multi-layered plastic? A. If so, what is the solution? Whether folding carton also come under the ambit of EPR?
So, to answer your first question, that if the laminated cartons are also coming under the category of multi-layered plastic, that is the category 3, then yes, it do come, because the definition clearly says that plastic along with any other material. So here in the case, here it would be the cardboard or the paper. So yes, it
Right.
does come under the category of multi-layered plastic packaging, category number 3. And yes, it will be accounted under the EPR regulation.
And my just more clarity to the audience, that
Yes, sir.
at the moment it is not banned. It is not that it is banned. Multi-layer plastic is not
No, no,
banned.
not
It
at
is
all.
only
Not at all.
thing. Yes, only thing we have to follow the rule and come
Yes.
and report that under EPR.
Absolutely correct, sir. Plastic cannot be banned. Like I also said, and you also mentioned, that it is a wonderful commodity. The menace around is the problem. The mismanagement around is the problem. So to manage that, only the EPR is there. So government has made this new portal wherein they are asking the brands to come and register yourselves under the rule and declare how much plastic packaging you have used in your products, and then
Absolutely.
comply with it, hire a plastic waste management agency, Shakti Plastic, and just get it recycled. So it is
Actually,
not
there
banned.
is a lot of, absolutely rightly said, Yatharth, that
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of misconception about plastic, and sometimes it is seen that whether paper packaging is better than plastic. There is no straight answer. Only way
Yes,
to say for a given application whether it is a better packaging only through life cycle cost analysis,
absolutely,
LCA.
absolutely. Yes,
LCA is the only way forward to say whether in a given application, and it may turn out maybe plastic is the best material for that application, keeping
absolutely,
in
sir.
mind the
Absolutely,
LCA as a benchmark.
absolutely right, sir.
Well, thank you very much, both the speakers, and thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. I would like to thank all our speakers as well who have taken out their time from the busy schedule to be a part of this exclusive webinar, which surely has been engaging and enriching for all our participants. With that, we conclude this webinar, Plastic Paradox in Packaging, conducted by Robus India Industries and the Shakti Plastic Industries. Take care and stay free. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.